All right, good afternoon, everyone. So I'll just give a moment, just right before we get started. I see everyone is coming into the room. Thank you so much for being here for our final webinar that we have. And today is going to be a really exciting webinar. A lot of great information to help you and your clients out there tackle some of the aged housing stock. So we'll go ahead and get started in about a minute. But again, welcome back. My name is Marlena Scott. I'm an affordable lending manager here at Freddie Mac. And I'm excited to introduce you to our guest speaker for today and one of my colleagues. So see some people still joining. All right, so we're at 12:01. So let's go ahead and get started. So if we can go to the next slide, which is just a brief introduction. Again, my name is Marlena Scott for those who just joined. I manage the real estate professional relationships and across the country. This is our third webinar series, as I've mentioned before. Very glad to wrap up this series with you all, and thank you so much for attending over the last 3 weeks. Today, if you go to the next slide, we're going to set the stage for some talk about aged housing stock. So if you can look at this slide, you can see that there is a lot of aged housing stock across the country. We did a study. Over 72 million single-family residents across the counties in the U.S. were analyzed. And what we found was more than half of them had been constructed prior to 1979. In addition to that, we have a large percentage of houses across the country that are 20 years or older. Housing stock, of course, in the Southeast region tends to be a little bit younger compared to the rest of the United States on this slide. So it's obvious that there are needs that to overcome some of those challenges out there. And so we're going to talk to you about two great products today. I'm going to bring my colleague on, James Cromartie, and he is our affordable lending specialist guru on our duty to serve products, Choice Renovation and GreenChoice mortgages. So James, I'll go ahead and let you take it away. Thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you, Marlena. And South Carolina real estate professionals, I have to tell you, I'm excited to be with you today. I am a Carolina boy myself, just on the North Carolina side. So it's good to be talking to you today. And as Marlena said, we're going to chat about a couple of tools we think will assist you in helping your clients take advantage of the affordability that comes in working with homes that need some form of rehabilitation. So today we're going to talk about the market environment. We'll spend some time on Choice Renovation, which is our flagship renovation product where you can do a variety of renovations. And then we'll wrap today up with the discussion around our more streamlined renovation mortgage financing tool that we use to finance energy and water efficiency improvements. So with that, let's dive right into the market environment. As Marlena just showed you on the slide, we have a glut of aged housing stock in the United States today. You guys see it every day in the market where you guys are working. Couple that with the fact that you can't really find a huge stock of affordable homes for sale. You're looking for your clients. You're just not finding things to hit that affordability mark for many of your clients. We have more and more millennials that are out looking for affordable home buying options. I have one in my house that needs to find an affordable home buying option so he can leave. And then finally, those of us who are increasing in age, we're looking to do a couple of things. We're either looking to downsize and move to a smaller place, or we're looking to adapt our current home for the next chapter in our lives. So, did you guys know that 80% of the nation's housing stock is over 20 years old? When you do the math, that's almost 110 million homes that could benefit from some form of rehabilitation. Additionally, we have another 55 million homes that are 50 years old or less. And now we know that those homes could benefit from some form of renovation. Now, we know that we all have good intentions in terms of maintaining our homes. But let's face it, sometimes life gets in the way and you let things slide. And after a while, you have some significant home improvements that you need to make. In fact, did you guys know that the US market for home improvements is now over $400 billion on an annual basis? So that's a lot of opportunity. A lot of people are out there getting into this trend of renovating and doing home improvements. And we're going to show you how you can help make that more affordable using a mortgage. So why should you worry about renovation and home improvement in 2021? Well, the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University is telling us that 1 to 13% increase in home improvement in 42 metropolitan areas. We're also going to see an average growth in all metro areas of 5%. 17 metros are expected to see moderate growth, and they're defining moderate growth to be between 3 and 6%. And then substantial growth at 9%, that's going to be in the Sun Belt. So as you can see, there's certain pockets where this home improvement is really taking off. And you look at that patch between North Carolina and South Carolina, there's some opportunity there. We talked about affordable housing stock. So what makes this opportunity we're going to show you today an affordable opportunity? Well, first of all, we think that when you get homes that are in need of some form of renovation, you have the opportunity to get them at a lower sales price. But in addition to that, you can use our low down payment options in conjunction with our renovation lending suite. So you could do our Home Possible, our Home One, or our HFA Advantage, which requires, as little as 3% down. And we all know that down payment is a major obstacle for a lot of people getting into a home of their dreams. So with that, let's dive right into our renovation suite. So again, first we will start with the Choice Renovation. And of the entire slideshow, guys, this is my favorite slide. In addition to being a Carolina guy, I'm also a real estate professional. And I do that part-time, but I haven't done a lot since I started working with Freddie Mac. But I want to play a word association game with you guys. I want you to take a look at the 3 lines up there. We're talking about charming, vintage gem, and hidden potential. Now, the word association game is when I say charming, tell me what first comes to your mind. You think small. You're looking at a listing. The listing says, hey, come see this charming bungalow. You're like, oh, wow, this is a small house. The next thing you see in a listing will be, you have to see this vintage gem. What do you think? You're thinking what? Old. So I have a small and an old house. And then finally, this charming and vintage gem has hidden potential. Immediately, you're thinking, oh my God, do I even want to show this house to my client? You, your client, and many other house hunters may even pass by or overlook this particular listing when they see these phrases. But you might keep it on your list of homes to visit if you know that there's a affordable financing product that can help you get into the home, purchase the home, and then also finance the needed renovations to take care of the charming vintage and hidden potential that is sitting there. But not only do you get funds for your purchase and renovation, but you also have the ability to fund up to 6 months of your principal, interest, and taxes and insurance, just in case you can't live in the home while it's being rehabbed. We also allow you to finance soft costs because you're going to have to get permits. You have to get plans, and specs, and draw inspections whenever you're doing renovations or construction. And then finally, something I think is real interesting is you can pay for resiliency upgrades. Let's say you happen to be in a flood area and you want to get some retaining walls, reinforce your foundation. We will allow those kinds of activities to be included in the financing for this particular product. So what is it? I won't go into a lot of detail in terms of the terms and features, but you should know that you could finance the cost of renovations up to 75% of the value of as completed value of the property. So let's say, for easy math's sake, let's say that after the home is completed, the appraisal says it'll be worth $100,000. You can finance up to $75,000 into that particular home. We allow a single closing on renovation. So when you go to closing, you're going to close on the home, and you're also going to close on the funds in order for your borrower to be able to start renovations on the property. We will allow them to take up to 50% of the cost of their materials at closing, so they can start renovating right away. And it supports a broader range of renovations. And I'll get into what renovations are allowed in just a second. So again, here are some quick product features. You can do it on 1 to 4 family primary residences. We'll allow you to do it on second homes and investment properties. You know, you have the opportunity to serve a wide range of your clients. So you're not just constrained or restrained to your first-time home buyer. You can get your investor that's looking to buy a home and do some rehab at the same time. You could help someone that is looking for their vacation home over in Myrtle Beach to do their second home and to finance it. So it's a great product and allows you to do a lot of work in one mortgage product. What kind of renovations can you do? What can't you do? You know, virtually everything you need in order to make that home just right for your buyer, you can do. You could pretty much knock the house down to its studs and start to build it over. You can't, you know, do new construction, but you can do walls, you can do doors, hardwood floors, you can do countertops, you can remodel bathrooms, you name it, everything except for raise an existing structure or build a new dwelling. You cannot use it to buy personal property unless we're talking about new appliances. So yes, you can get those. You can get a new refrigerator and washer and dryer and washing machine with these funds. So understand this. Think about it as your opportunity to get into the custom home business, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're taking a property that, you know, they go into the house and they're like, you know, I love this neighborhood. It's close to the school that we like. We have the ability to walk to our favorite destinations. It's right on the side of town that we really like, but there's something not quite right about this house. With this particular financing instrument, with this mortgage, you can make that not quite right house into the dream home that you're trying to provide for your buyers. So with that, let's shift gears for a second and talk about our more streamlined option, which is our GreenChoice. When you think about GreenChoice, think about 2 things. One, think about streamlined renovation, and then think about energy efficiency, because that's what this particular product is all about. You can finance up to 15% of the home's as completed value. Now, if you remember, when we were talking about our more comprehensive product, we said 75%. So because it's streamlined, we are going to cap you at 15% versus 75%. So what do I mean when I say streamlined? So with the Choice Renovation product, we are requiring that lenders be pre-approved before they can deliver this loan to us, if they're going to deliver it before the renovations are done. Because, you know, that's a significant risk. We need to make sure that they understand construction lending, they understand renovation lending. So we do ask them to apply. We also ask them to set up separate custodial accounts and to monitor to the draws in separate accounts in construction and renovation lending kind of operations. What's streamlined about GreenChoice is none of that is applicable. Every Freddie Mac seller servicer has the ability to do GreenChoice renovation lending, because we feel like the risk is such that it's mitigated because we're only allowing 15% in renovation costs to be financed. So we think that most lenders can figure out how to make that happen just using their regular custodial accounts. So we think that there will be a larger number or a higher percentage of lenders really taking advantage of that, and then testing out the renovation lending waters with a product like this. Because as you saw in the numbers, the renovation opportunity is huge, and not every lender has that kind of experience. But they do a few of these, they can get experience under their belt. Did you guys know that over half, let's talk energy efficiency for a minute, over half of a household's energy usage goes toward heating and cooling. And that actual bullet was created pre-pandemic. Can you imagine what that ratio is now, what that percentage is now? Now that we all work from home, we learn from home, we teach from home, we are in our homes a significant amount of time versus pre-pandemic. Summer's coming up, it's going to be hot, and those electric bills will be rising because we are all home and we're consuming that energy. And when we focus on energy and water efficiency, we are consuming less natural resources, we are making our homes more comfortable, and in the long run, we are making them more affordable to maintain because our energy usage and our costs will go down. I don't know if you guys are hearing this or seeing this in South Carolina, but there is a big push toward energy efficiency, social responsibility. It's Earth Month. April is Earth Month, so we are really paying more attention to energy efficiency in our country than ever before. In fact, the National Association of Home Builders cites that home buyers are really looking for energy efficiency improvements in the homes that they are purchasing. So again, keep in mind, this energy efficiency in a mortgage will allow you to support home improvements that lead to utility cost savings, get those bills down. You can do energy improvements up to as much as 15% of the appraised value. Now, if you go above $6,500 in renovations, we're going to require you to get an energy report, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the improvements are being made are indeed leading to energy efficiency, and you can justify that with that energy audit or energy report. And we're going to allow your lender partner to deliver it before the construction begins. So that allows them to basically recycle their money and have more money available for them to lend. Now, this final bullet is something I want you guys to really think about. You can also use this mortgage to refinance. So you can refinance your existing home. Got the people we're talking to today, you can refinance your home and roll in some energy efficiency improvements to your house. And I'll take you one further. Let's use solar panels as an example. Let's say a couple of months ago, before you or your borrowers heard about this product, you installed solar panels on your house. Well, we will allow you to refinance the debt, probably higher interest debt that you use to finance those solar panels. We'll allow you to pay that off in a refinance and use these lower interest rates we're seeing today. The interest rates are, they're rising, but they're still in the threes. So this is a perfect opportunity to take advantage of these historically low interest rate environment. Earlier, I talked about the fact that we were going to require an energy audit if the cost of the improvements exceeded $6,500. Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. Right now, we're seeing lenders that are taking advantage of that. Excuse me, my puppy is deciding to play with her toy. Is deciding to try to stay below that 6,500 bogey in order for them to make it operationally more easy on an operational basis. So you may think that, well, James, if I can't do anything above 6,500, what kind of improvements are possible? Well, you could do programmable thermostats. I know I love my Nest thermostat. You could do caulking or water sealing. You can do solar water heaters, low flow water fixtures, you name it. All of that can be done, and you can stay under that $6,500 bogey we talked about. Let me tell you a little bit about some research that we've done on energy efficiency and as it relates to homes. We did a research paper in 2018, and we found that new homes with energy efficiency ratings sell for at least 3% more than unrated homes. And now better rated homes sell for 3 to 5% more than lesser rated homes. So there is some value that can be extracted from these energy efficiency upgrades. So just, again, keep that in mind when you come to reselling of properties. You will see a tick in sales price. What are some of the benefits for home buyers and homeowners? You get increased home comfort, possibly lower your utility bills. You could finance all of these energy efficiency improvements and repairs through a low interest rate mortgage versus higher interest rate credit cards or other forms of consumer debt. You can purchase a home and then finance future energy efficiency improvements in it in one loan. We also want you guys to be aware of our Real Estate Professional Resource Center, where you can get information on GreenChoice mortgage, Choice Renovation, and many other things that Marlena and her team are working on. And we make it easy for you to find all of this with a couple of clicks. So with that, I thank you for your time and your attention. I'm going to turn it back over to Marlena.
Thank you. Thank you, James, for that great information. So I just have a couple of questions. What recommendations would you give to, agents in trying to work with some of their lenders out there? Any, tips? Because renovation lending and renovations in general, are looked at as a challenge, and some people steer away from them. Any tips that you would give?
I would. For example, for Freddie Mac, this is a relatively new market for us. We actually rolled out Choice Renovation in summer of 2019. So that was the summer, and then we all know what happened in 2020, right? So it's relatively new, and you may not have heard of it up until today, and some of your lender partners may not have heard of it. So what I recommend is talk to your lender partner. And let them know that you see a big opportunity for renovation lending, whether we're talking about full-scale renovations or less renovations, speaking of energy efficiency, and have them inquire about it. We also have another option. If you go to our website and search for Choice Renovation, we have a list of approved lenders that we have approved for Choice Renovation. Okay, now keep in mind, that's for Choice Renovation. For GreenChoice, remember I said you do not have to have that special approval. So it's just a matter of a lender requesting or just inquiring more about that particular product. So communication, I think that when we talk about renovation lending and getting into homes that need some form of renovation, you have to plan ahead. You have to make sure you understand your partners that you have to work with in order to get this deal to close. So you have to first find the house that you'd like to have purchased and renovated. You have to have someone in mind that can help you come in and figure out, hey, what needs to be done in terms of renovation. And probably just as importantly, you have to have a lender that understands this segment of the market. So do some pre-work and get ready to have your network in place when you run into a house that needs renovation.
And then I think you also mentioned this, but just as a reminder for those who tuned in last week for Home Possible and Home One, these products can be paired with Home Possible, which is great. So just having a single close option for your buyers is a great idea. And this helps save, James said something earlier, save those high interest, put the Home Depot credit cards away and take advantage of some of these products. So one more question, James. So our contractors are so backlogged. Would that have an impact on utilizing a Choice Renovation loan?
Well, to the extent that you can find someone that has available, has the time to do a project. So what it may just mean is that you find your your contractor, you get them under contract, and it may take you a few weeks to get started. And of course, that is something that will not necessarily affect the loan at all. That may just extend the amount of time it takes for your project to complete.
And then one more time, would you repeat the website to determine which lenders are approved for Choice Renovation?
Okay, so you go to singlefamilyfreddiemac.com, search for Choice Renovation. And then when you land on the Choice Renovation landing page, if you scroll down to the bottom, you will see a PDF that you can select and for approved Choice Renovation lenders.
All right, any other questions before we close out today? Again, these are product focused, educational sessions, so they are a little bit quicker than our state of the housing market, which is a little bit more in depth, but it's definitely some information that you can walk away from and use in your day-to-day business. These products, again, I mean, we're focused on affordable. We want to help more first-time home buyers get into home and have options out there, especially those millennials who are being outpriced. They're being pushed to look at older homes just because of where the market is. So they definitely need some solutions and some options. So of course you will get a copy of this slide after the webinar, and this is also recorded, so it'll be on your YouTube. So make sure to pass along to any of your other peers that might find this information helpful. Thank you again for just the partnership we've been able to have over the last 3 weeks on our home buying series. We really did touch on a lot. And I'm glad that we're able to give you some information that you did just quickly walk away with today. And let us know if you have any additional questions. And with that, Sharon, I'm going to go ahead and close out today's session because I don't see any other questions.